Okay, hi. Well, today we'll see the distinction of an interpretation. Traditional interpretation based on the dictionary or personal interpretation, and an interpretation definition based on what is transformational interpretation. So, we all know an interpretation defined by a dictionary is an opinion or conceptualization of an event. So in an interpretation, there's a bias, a grade of subjectivity based on the guys, on the person's past or experience. So in this order, we can see that when an event happens, our interpretation of the event is based on our story, our past beliefs, whatever happened to us in the past. For example, when I was young, when I was a little boy, every time my mother used to call me by my full name, it was because I did something wrong. I used to paint, and draw a lot, and whenever I ran out of sheets, I would draw on the walls, etc. Or whenever I got into a fight with my brothers, my mother would always scream to me, by my full name, Candelario, and I will always know, there's something bad happening. So every time my mom calls me by my full name, it's like I react like if I did something wrong, even though I don't know what's happening. She might, fall, or she just called, there's somebody else present, and she called me by my full name, and that's it. So we can see that based on my story, I could say that I based my future in what happened in my past. So I'm basing my future experience based in my past. I'm anticipating what is going to happen in the future on what happened in my past. This causes an auto-reaction from myself, into the event that happened. Although these two events were totally independent. Yeah. So we can see that based on an event similar to what happened in my past, I have my own stories, my past beliefs. I base my future. I anticipate my future experiences on my past experiences, although they are totally independent. This causes an auto-reaction of an event. Why do I auto-react to an event? Because since I live it in the past, I survived in a certain way, so I feel
it's the correct way to be
safe. Although it's totally independent and I can do something better, I feel safe. What can I do to stop these interpretations? How can I change this? Well, I can stop whenever I see that I'm making an interpretation. I can stop and I become present, aware. This event is totally independent from the other ones. So I become present, I'm conscious that whatever is happening now has nothing to do with what happened in the past, And I'm able to create my own response to this particular event. So what happens here, I might be taking a risk, but I stopped living in my past and I'm living totally in the present, and I can create my own future based on any event. So we can give one example. Whenever we see a movie, you know, and a scene, each one of us has our own interpretation,
reaction.
yeah, our own reaction, our own interpretation, depending on what we saw and what we lived in our past, based on our culture, our family, our friends, our society. What we can come out from any event, it's our own responsibility. It depends upon us. It's nothing to do with our past. Does any of you have a question?
Okay, now how do you switch? Okay, I always live this way. How do I learn how to switch to living the other way?
To this way, okay. Whenever you see you are having an auto reaction to a past event, for example, I don't know, can you give me one example, something that happens to you very often, maybe a discussion?
Yeah, okay, like we were in a meeting and somebody spoke very loudly, okay, like strong, and I started crying like stupid, you know, just crying because I related that reaction to my dad maybe, or an authority.
Okay.
Okay.
So you reacted today, you know, based
Based
okay, we can say,
on my past.
yeah, well, we can say, you know, what really happened and your interpretation of what happened. What happened? Oh, somebody yelled at you.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Not
Well,
even at me. Yelled.
well, he just
Okay.
yelled. Well, you see?
Okay.
And what did you interpret from what happened? Well, maybe, you
It
know,
was to me.
it was to me.
It was personal.
Personal. Sometimes, you know, I don't know, when you were little, I'm not good enough, or,
Mhm.
you know, my parents don't like me, or
Mhm.
nobody likes me, so, you know, you make your own interpretation based on something that happened that had nothing to do with the past.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Give her a hand of applause, please.
Okay. To you.